Perfection is exhausting. Real is magnetic. Somewhere along the lines, we forgot the best versions of us aren't the filtered one. It's the one who laughs, messes up, and keeps going anyway. If you love these real talk moments, please hit subscribe. Subscribing is free and simply just lets you know when a new episode drops. It lets me know I'm creating content that you like and want more of. And most importantly, it allows more women like you to find this podcast. This is the Jennifer Kwapis podcast, and I'm your host, Jennifer. If you're new here, welcome. So happy to have you joining us. Today, we're going to talk about the trap of aesthetics and how being real and authentic is just way more fun. But before we dive into that, I was going to give you a little download on my past week. And to be honest, it wasn't my best one. This week started off pretty rough. Some relationship issues that I've been working through the past couple of years with some family members kind of bubbled up again and caused the scab to fall off and the wound to rip wide open again. And so I was feeling sad, angry, and just mentally and physically drained, just full of negativity and upset and not the best version of myself. And to put the cherry on top, I had finally ordered myself a new phone because the one I had just wasn't staying charged all day. I'm sure we've all been there. We go through this cycle every couple of years with phones. But I finally ordered a new one, and the store did not have the particular phone that I wanted, so they were going to have to order it for me, which was fine. They ordered the phone, but when it got delivered, all that was delivered was an empty box. And I was like, of course, the cherry on top of my shitty week is now that I have to deal with someone stealing my phone in transit of it getting to my house. So, hours of my life drained on the phone with customer service with Verizon to go through this whole fraud thing. And they were unable to order me a new phone right away until this fraud ticket got closed. So I was just more pissed off, feeling sorry for myself. And then it dawned on me. It dawned on me, and I am a true believer that when you're negative, the universe gives you back exactly what you're putting out there. And so I had been upset, angry, mad, frustrated, all the things. And that is exactly what I was getting back. I was not happy. I was looking for all of the bad things going on around me because I wasn't in a good state of mind. And I recognized that. So the first thing I did was sit down and start to write things that brought me joy, right? Write down things that I was thankful for. Just turn this terrible feeling into a better one. I decided to have my husband and my kids cook dinner with me one night. So I was distracted and surrounded by people I loved and having fun with them. I took my son the next evening to the Halloween store to pick out his Halloween costume, just him and I, and had some fun with him trying on different masks and taking silly pictures. And then finally, I decided I was just going to take a vacation day come the end of the week. I think it was Thursday. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take some more time to do more things I love, work on my podcast, take my dogs for a walk, just pour some more energy into myself. And so I did just that. And as I'm looking through photos and videos in the morning, trying to cultivate that positive energy, I came across this video that absolutely put me into tears, like laughing tears. It was hysterical. And so I sent it out to our group chat to remind everybody of this really funny moment. Right. And so I'm still going on and laughing about it, and everybody's talking about it in the group chat. So I ended up picking up the phone and calling my girlfriend, who I know was laughing about it too. And so we're giggling on the phone and talking. And I jokingly said to her, do you have to work today? So she works afternoons. So I know she's home in the morning, goes into work later in the day. And she goes, actually, no, I'm off today. We were like giddy teenagers. I was like, oh my God, so am I. like jumping up and down and screaming. I was like, I'm grabbing a coffee and my bathing suit. She lives around the corner and I'm coming over. We're getting in the hot tub and let's drink our coffee. She was like, yeah, absolutely. So I started my day off doing just that. It wasn't what I had planned for the day, but it was even better. I went and sipped coffee in her hot tub and we laughed and talked. That ended up turning into booking a tea time and going golfing for the day, which then also turned into doing, I'm sure everybody's seen this viral trend going on of these like awkward photos that like two friends will take together. We did an awkward photo shoot on the golf course because why not? There was no one on the course. It's getting pretty cold out here in Michigan. So we took funny photos and just had a blast, had lunch, had a couple drinks. It was everything and anything I could have needed that day. And I just want to share that with everybody to remind you that if you too are going through something tough or in a bad mood or something just is feeling heavy, I want to remind you to take a minute and pause and do what you need to do to remind yourself of what brings you joy and pour time and energy into the thing that brings you joy. That very morning, I was doing that, looking through my phone. I came across a video that made me laugh. I sent it out to try and make everybody else laugh and start their day off right. And it just snowballed from there. And my point is, when I change my mindset to focusing on the things I'm thankful for and focusing on the things that make me happy, the universe turned right around and gave me joy and happiness. And it's just a snowball effect. So hope that helps. All right, jumping into our topic today, I just want to talk about how we love aesthetics in today's day and time. Guilty as charged here as well. Like, I do love my home to be clean, things to be organized, things to look pretty. It just motivates me and gets me in the state of mind that I need to be in to take care of the things that I want to take care of. And that's okay. But what I'm talking about today is actually backing up to last week's podcast episode where I had my daughter Brooke on the show. And it reminded me, as she was saying, how much she loved to hang out with her friends that just were down to be silly and have fun and not have to be this version that you feel like you need to act like today. If you missed that episode, go back and watch last week's episode. It's definitely worth going back to. But I wanted to dedicate some time on this week's podcast to talk about just that. Everybody wants the friend that they can be silly with and feel like they can let their hair down and just be themselves. So why not that friend be you? Why not that friend be you? Who doesn't love a good laugh? Who doesn't love a good time? Who doesn't want to make the people around them laugh? And I think as adults, especially like I think coming into my age, right? I'm about to hit my 40s. And I feel like up to this point or recently, you always were in line with the person in front of you, meaning whoever was doing better than you were getting in line behind them and you wanted to do those things as you grew and reached goals and set goals and reached the next one. And that's kind of the formula that you were following. But I feel like I'm coming into this part of my life where I don't need the roadmap to reach my goals. I'm okay with going left, right, up, down, whatever it takes to get there if I'm being true to myself. So I just want to remind all of you that I think we need to stop pretending that being put together is a requirement of happiness. Like if I wanted to wait until my hair was perfect and my makeup was done to go out, most of the time I would never leave my house. But seriously, how many times have you said no to something fun because you didn't feel ready? No makeup, messy bun, old leggings, you skip the lunch date or the run to Target with a friend. But here's the thing, those little messy moments, that's where connection actually happens. That's where growth actually happens. That's where your true self comes out and you feel your best. It doesn't matter if it's picture perfect. Do we all love to look fantastic in a photo that we can frame or we like looking at on our phone or on social media? Absolutely. But it is not necessary. In fact, Some of my favorite photos, videos, and memories are the ones that are I look like a complete mess because I was having fun. It was no stress. I was all natural and just enjoying living in the moment. So, as I mentioned earlier in the podcast, my girlfriend and I did this funny photo shoot, right? So the whole day was completely unplanned. We literally went from the hot tub, took 15 minutes to run home, change into golf clothes, which meant throw on a hat, no makeup, no doing our hair, put on some clothes. We ran out the door to the golf course, and then we proceeded to take all these funny photos. Did I post those photos? I absolutely did. You know what? They're some of my favorite photos I've ever taken because number one, they're hilarious. And number two, it was just such a fun day. And I will always remember how much fun it was. I don't look at those photos and think, ugh, I wish my hair was done or I wish I had makeup on. I look at those photos and I am instantly satisfied with what an awesome day it was. The best day ever. And ladies, authenticity is everything. There has never been and never will be another you. Therefore, be yourself, right? In a world full of filters and facades, being real is the quiet revolution. And as moms, if you have kiddos, it is the best way to teach them to do this as well. We all know we have that one friend who always says she can't go anywhere unless she looks perfect or wants to get all dressed up to go out to dinner so that the pictures look fantastic. And guys, I get it. But I want to remind you that it's not everything and that the world needs more women to show up undone because you know what? It gives permission to the next woman to do the same. And I also I've also recognized in my own scenarios that the more undone I am around my other friends, the more we get together. Because when I call and say, hey, you want to come over and grab a cup of coffee or you want to go out to lunch? And if they're not put together or don't feel like getting put together that day, they're like, yeah, sure, let's go. I'm coming in my leggings with my hair thrown up. And I'm like, perfect. I'm doing the same. And it just allows you to have more fun more frequently where you can fit it in. And who doesn't need to fit more fun in more frequently? Our lives are so busy. The schedules are jam packed, and you have to find places to insert fun. And you know what? Science backs it up. Science tells us that fun is necessary, laughter is necessary, not optional. Studies show that laughing lowers stress hormones like cortisol and boosts your immune system and even burns calories. Come on. Like one good belly laugh can burn up to 40 calories. Better than any detox tea I've seen on the shelf. And when you have fun, your body releases endorphins, those feel good chemicals that make you feel connected and alive. This helps reduce anxiety, boosts your mood, and even helps your heart health. So, yeah, fun is literally medicine. We keep thinking we need a spa day or a vacation to feel better, but sometimes what we really need is just that spontaneous lunch, an unfiltered laugh, and the reminder that joy does not need a full face of makeup. So here's your challenge this week. Say yes to something small. Go to coffee with your messy bun. Take your Target run completely undone, no makeup on. Take the picture with your kids. Who cares if you have a stain on your shirt? And be seen, like really seen for who you are today in that moment, not the polished version you think you have to be. Because the best version of you, she's not perfect. She's real. She's living in the moment and she's showing up. The next time your friend is hanging out with you and takes that funny picture, or your spouse takes that funny picture of you, don't be the person to look at it and be like, oh, look disgusting. Because you've just taken everything away from that moment that picture stood for. Let them post the picture. Let that moment be relived years from now. Because I promise you, you're not going to look at your face and worry about not having makeup on. You're going to remember that moment that made you feel happy. And we need to have more of those. Be that friend that you want to hang out with, that friend that doesn't give a shit, the friend that shows up with the messy bun, the friend that forgot to XYZ. It doesn't matter. She's fun. She's real. She's relatable. She makes you feel more human because deep down inside, you know, you too are the messy girl. You're the one that wants to be like that. You're the one that doesn't want to have everything done out perfectly and laid out perfectly. And you're not, and you can't. So stop pretending that you are. It is okay to not have it all together. Do we strive for it all? Absolutely. Women's work is never done, but it's okay to just be your authentic self. Make the funny faces, take the photos, go out of the house without your makeup or hair done. Do the things that society says women shouldn't do. Pee on the golf course. Okay? Let's just be honest. Us girls, no one wants to go in a porta potty when it's 100 degrees outside. Do we form a wall or squat behind a golf cart where we think there's a little bit of privacy? Absolutely. Are we putting on the bathing suit and going out for a boat ride spur of the moment without our legs and armpits shaved? Yes, we are, because that's going to be a lot more fun than sitting at home just because you had a little stubble somewhere. Who cares? Go out, do it, let it be the new norm. You need to have fun. Stop making excuses for not going out of the house and having fun. Go on the random date night with your husband. Who cares what somebody else thinks? Ooh, she works all day and then she left her kids for a couple hours at night too. What a terrible mother. You know what? Let them. There it is. Thanks, Mel. Let them. Let those people think what they want to think. But you need to do you. You need to be happy. You know your value at home and how much you love those kids and show up for everybody always. You have to pour your time and energy also into yourself and the things that make you happy because nobody wants to be around their wife, their mother, their friend who is miserable and upset all the time. They want to be around your silly, fun, authentic, best version of yourself. So, what are you guys doing to make sure that you are the best version of yourself? If this episode hit home, drop your biggest takeaways in the comments, please. I would love to hear how you're choosing to show up more real this week. And if you love these real talk moments, remember, hit subscribe. It helps more women like you find this podcast and it lets me know I'm creating content that you can relate to. Remember, don't be perfect, be real. I would rather be hated for who I am than adored for somebody I'm not. Until next week, I hope you guys have a great one. We'll see you soon.